In this video, we are going to find out the effect of air resistance on falling objects. In the previous lesson, we learned about objects falling in vacuum, that is, in the absence of air resistance, the object falls with a constant acceleration of 10 meters per square second, which means its velocity increases constantly by 10 meters per second for every second. Now, what happens if the object is not falling in vacuum but in air, which happens all the time because our Earth is surrounded by an atmosphere that is filled with air? In the presence of air, there exists a force called air resistance, which opposes motion. So the object is no longer free falling, being acted upon by only its weight. Instead, there is an air resistance opposing its downward falling motion. There are four important characteristics about air resistance. First, it increases with increasing speed. So as the falling object is subjected to the pull of Earth's gravity and hence falls with increasing speed, the air resistance will also increases as the speed of the falling object increases. This will cause the increase in speed to slow down. That means as the object falls, its speed increases but at a decreasing rate. That means its acceleration will reduce as it falls. The air resistance will increase till it is equal to the weight of the falling object, and at that point, the acceleration becomes zero. That means the object is now falling at constant speed. This is the maximum speed that it can attain, and we call this its terminal velocity. Now compare this graph to the case of an object free falling in vacuum, that is in the absence of air resistance. The second important thing about air resistance is that it increases with increase in surface area. This is the reason why we see that a piece of paper will take a longer time to fall to the ground when there is air resistance. Small, heavy and round objects have little surface area and hence the air resistance acting on them is small. Hence, if you throw small, heavy, round objects, they will hit the ground at the same time. The third and fourth characteristics of air resistance is that air resistance is a frictional force. Hence, it always acts against motion. And finally, it increases with increased intensity of air. Memorize the following important facts about terminal velocity, as many examination questions are set based on these. First, it is the maximum velocity of the falling object. It is reached when the air resistance equals the weight of the object. At terminal velocity, acceleration is zero, but the object's velocity is constant. Note that when terminal velocity is reached, the object is still falling because the velocity is not zero. When an object is falling at terminal velocity, it is falling at constant speed, so the distance traveled is equal over equal interval of time. In our next lesson, you will discover how skydivers make use of these concepts of air resistance and terminal velocities to control their speed as they skydive.